We're with the world famous Bob Baldwin. Bob, I don't know how you address him, but I call him Bob.
Depending on how old you are or how long.
I probably saw you. Yeah, listen, dude, you do Mount Vernon every now and then. You do the Jazzmobile every now and then. And Grants. I mean, there's a lot of situations.
We go back a few years, man.
Yeah, we go back a little something.
80s maybe?
Wow, I'm scared to say that. Yeah, we go back. So now the latest album is
it's called MelloWonder.
MelloWonder, okay.
Songs in the Key of Stevie.
Songs in the Key of Stevie. I'm a Stevie Wonder fan, and the one thing that caught my attention about this album was you had some songs on there that that are seldom remade, you know, and one of my favorites is Don't You Worry About a Thing. It's up-tempo.
Absolutely.
And then like I said, I was driving in the bank yesterday, and your music was on. I'm listening to it intensively, and you did that, girl. And I'm like, because if you're gonna cover something, it's either got to be as good or pay respect to better.
It's like messing with a museum piece, you know?
Yeah, man.
Some stuff you just don't want to touch.
What was it like going into this album, and how does your past lend itself to doing Stevie Wonder music?
I've been wanting to do this record for about 15 years. It took me about 2 years to make it. Now, first record came out in 1988, and one of the tunes I did on that record was You Will Know, which is a Stevie piece. And so, but I grew up listening to Stevie because my father had all these jazz records. He had Oscar Peterson, he had Miles Davis, he had Quincy Jones. But then my sister, who was a little older, had all the R&B stuff, Aretha Franklin, Chicago, Earth, Wind & Fire, and all the Motown stuff. So I got turned on to Stevie Wonder. I was like 5, 6 years old. He had a tune called I Was Made to Love Her. That was like my first Stevie tune, playing a harmonica and singing. And then, you know, you remember that, right? Exactly.
Yes.
And of course, you know, My Sugar More was around 69. It was the same year as Vietnam War and Woodstock. You know, the country was going through all this turmoil.
Yes.
But then right around 3 years later, he turned the keyboard into like an orchestra. Hooked up with this cat, Robert Marguleff, who was looked like an Einstein cat. Him and Malcolm Cecil had this huge keyboard that was about half the size of a wall called Tonto. And they over there twisting knobs and there's wires plugging in, and Stevie's getting busy with 4 records. Fulfilling His First Finale, Music on My Mind, Talking Book, and Intervisions. So Don't You Worry About a Thing came out of that. You and I, Superwoman. So that's when I was like, man, this cat is on. And he's only like 20, 21 years old. And back then, no one was overdubbing. So he was playing drums, playing bass, hitting the keys, singing, backgrounds.
And the lyrics.
Yeah, writing.
The lyrics is priceless. I mean, he just had every element of music covered, as if he had inner vision. To the future.
Exactly.
And sustenance and, you know, consistency and relevance.
Right.
I mean.
And then he did The Secret Life of Plants in 1978, which, okay, you can't see, but you writing about plants, and did a 2-album set.
Right.
He's a deep brother. Listen to him, a lot of Herbie Hancock when I was younger, you know. Of course, Oscar Peterson for the, you know, the real acoustic piano vibe, but Herbie and Stevie kind of created those other layers of keyboard sounds. The synthesizer and the Moog, you know. Because Steve was playing keyboard bass and no one else was doing it back then.
You got a lot of friends in the music industry.
Absolutely.
A whole lot of friends. In fact, on this album, I saw Ragan, Whiteside. Was Marion involved?
Marion's not on it yet, but he might be on it by the time.
Might be it when you're done. Like once he hears it.
If I can just get him on the phone.
You don't want to miss this one, Marion.
Get him off his bike for a few days.
Yes. So who else did you bring in on this project?
This is a guitar player named Unam, who's actually from France, who lives in LA, but we've been fans of each other for years. And I sent him, in fact, he's playing on That Girl. Real tasty guitar player. And then Chieli Minucci from the group Special Effects out of New York, Italian cat, but really nice, tasty. He's had his band together for about 30 years. So we had a chance to do some collabing together. We've done a couple tributes together. We did a Dave Valentine tribute and Jazz for Haiti in 2010. So Chieli and I have been good friends for a while. So he did a couple tracks for me as well. No other keyboard players actually sat down and done a whole record on Stevie. And it's it's amazing that no one has ever done that. So I said, let me just fill that niche. Make sure the chords are right, the melodies are straight. I mean, I've heard some really bad covers of a lot of people, including Stevie Wonder. And man, when you don't play those chords right, it don't sound right. Okay. Yeah, we did a thing with a GoFundMe, and I wanted to use some of that money to apply towards a string section. So we used that money, raised $3,000 or $4,000, and we did strings on the first piece, which was the real thing. Used real violins and violas and all that kind of good stuff. And that was a lot of fun. So, and I used some of the funding also to pay for some musician costs. Yeah, go to the website, Baldwin.com, and check out newurbanjazz.com, which is a radio show that I do 2 hours a week.
Oh, okay. What's it called?
New Urban Jazz.
New Urban Jazz?
Yeah, it's a fusion of jazz, Brazilian, world jazz from Dubai, South Africa. We blend it all together.